countries to participate in a global initiative in accessing COVAX, a vaccine that might be the answer to eliminate the deadly pandemic. Responding to questions posed by Today on One during a virtual conference, Dr. Richard Mihigo, World Health Organization Regional Office for Africa, Program Area Manager for Immunization and Vaccine Development, said about 20% of the African population will benefit from the vaccine, with a focus on health workers and the most vulnerable, like the elderly.
Once there is a vaccine that is licensed and approved, COVAX will work to secure at least 220 million doses of vaccine for the continent. This will not necessarily cover all the needs of the continent, but at least will cover 20% of the African population, initially prioritizing those who are at the front line, the healthcare workers, then expanding to cover vulnerable groups such as the elderly or those with a pre-existing condition.
WHO Africa Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations Chief Executive Officer emphasized on the safety, access and distribution of COVAX in Africa.
The COVAX initiative, as Richard said in his opening remarks, is really the only global initiative to ensure equitable access to vaccines. It has brought together over 170 countries have expressed interest. We recently received the expressions of interest from self-financing countries, which are one part of the COVAX initiative, as Richard mentioned. And as of this morning, we have 78 countries that have signaled their intent to join COVAX as self-financing countries. And we have 92 countries that will have expressed interest through the advanced market commitment that Gavi is establishing.
The Republic of Equatorial Guinea is currently participating in COVAX and as a middle-income country has offered to self-finance the vaccine for its people.
COVID-19 has devastated people's health and economics everywhere. It has changed our lifestyle and has created fear in our societies. We believe that against common enemy, the world needs to fight together, and this is why my country, being a middle-income economy, has agreed to self-finance the vaccine for our population. Equatorial Guinea believes that we need a common approach, and we have joined up the COVAX platform mainly because we think it is the most effective way to garner the right approach, because we can ensure that our people can access the COVID-19 vaccine, which are safe, scientifically tested in a timely manner, and at the lower possible cost.
African countries are urged to participate in the global initiative aimed at working with vaccine manufacturers to provide equitable access to safe and effective vaccines once they are licensed and approved to countries worldwide.
Get some more savings this summer, like selected girls' tees ages 2 to 8 get 3 for only 70. Or selected boys' tees ages 2 to 8 get 3 for only 70. Or selected older boys' tees get 3 for 100, you save $19.85. Find a variety of kids' tees in store, only at Ackermans.
Katima Mililo residents living in Wayanda are being forced to move into an area called Nova, where the town council has allegedly approved plots for the residents. In an exclusive interview with the former chief executive officer of the town, he explained that Nova is far from ready to occupy the people. The former chief executive officer of the town said that the land issue has been coming on for many years and recalls when the negotiations were taking place between the town council of Katima Mililo and the traditional authority when he left office.
So the time we left the Katima Mililo town council, The land that is in question, it was still under negotiation between the Katima Mulilo Town Council and the traditional authority. So I think I'm clear on that one. It was still on a table whereby the organization, because when you talk of Mafe Traditional Authority, it's an institution which is governing the state land under the Traditional Authority Act. And Katima Mulilo also, they are governing the land under the under the Local Authority Act of the town land. Then it's not an issue that Mr. Nawa have. I find that issue there. When I took over the office of the CEO, it was an issue even to my former CEO who was there, to my predecessor, and it was an issue whereby that continuity of negotiation was still going on.
Community members say that they have paid the traditional authority large sums of money to own the land and are refusing to move to Nova.
We bought this land to the traditional authority. We never get money to the parties. The party which is in Rwanda, it's SWAPO. Why is he saying that the opposition party are the people who are saying that we should not move? The letters which we are having, it's from the traditional authority. It's not the parties who gave us those letters. And we don't know even the party which is the chief falls. We don't know really. What we need here in Rwanda, it's water. Why are we not moving to Nova? We bought this land with our own money. We never borrowed even a single cent anyway. We struggled to get that $3.5 and $25 to pay there. At least the mayor should do. At least he should do what? He should do answer these other things directly.
The former CEO acknowledges that the people did pay for the land and have already built structures in which they live. He stated that Nova is not ready and one could compare that area to a bush.
My brother, the land to Nova is not ready. All what you're supposed to do is that, first and foremost, the Katima Mulilo, under the weight of the worship, the mayor, the management which is there, that is really questionable. Because at the moment, they do not know how many people are there in Rwanda. That is the first point. And also to the land that they are saying they have prepared those plots at Nova. Do they know how many plots are there at Nova? You see, that's the problem. Well, they got that piece of land to the traditional authority as well, the same traditional authority that we are talking about here. Why didn't they just say, okay, we leave the people here to stay, and this piece of land that we got from traditional, which we call it Nova, now we can allow this investor to take over to develop that piece of land in order to do whatever they do there, in order to build houses. The issue here, another issue which our people, they are complaining, colleagues, they spend lots of money, apart from the 3,500 to acquire the piece of land. They have spent a lot of money to construct those houses, to buy the material. So now, after a person has built and stayed there for 2-3 years, now you come again, you tell that person that, no, take your house from here, go and build it to the other side where I'm going to give you a plot.
The former CEO is calling on the regional governor and the town's mayor to meet with their people and find a solution to the problem.
Walk on sunshine, down the street, at the beach. With girls' sandals just $49.99. Why pay more? Work smarter, play harder. Lady sandals only $59.99. Step up your summer, because life's better with Pep.
A decision taken by the Walfish Bay municipality to move hawkers from the streets into a well-built place called the Kutu Market has frustrated the informal traders. The vendors say the new area makes their products invisible to customers. The hawkers organized a peaceful demonstration outside the Walfish Bay municipality where they aired their frustration with the new system to municipal officials.
The street vendors, they are really suffering by this moment because we are in a pandemic of COVID-19. So they are calling upon and humble themselves to the worship mayor to help them. If they can, if the mayor can help the street vendor to sell their product outside Ekutu or in the street, at least until the pandemic slow down or it comes down, then the worship mayor can come in or consult the street vendors.
The hawkers prefer to be in plain sight, where it's easier to interact with customers and possibly risk catching COVID-19 over the Ekutu market, which is a shaded structure designed to accommodate all of them while maintaining COVID-19 regulations.
In Ekutu, actually, there are no customers, and Ekutu, it is not an open market. So they are now calling upon the worship mayor to assist and help them for Ekutu to become an open market, or either if the worship mayor can be able to come up with a conducive environment ideologies to make some new open market.
The street vendors peacefully handed over their petition, which was well received by the Chief Executive Officer of the Walfish Bay Municipality, Muronga Haingura, who vowed to deliver it to the mayor.
Get some more vibes with our range of girls' must-have dresses at only $99.95. Totally casual or totally cool. Wear it your way. Only at Ackermans.
Civil society organizations are calling on government to introduce the basic income grant next year to address the extreme levels of poverty and inequality in the country. According to the NGOs, the challenges brought by the COVID-19 pandemic will lead to a decline in economic activity, and with no long-term social protection interventions in place, the already poor will be left to bear the brunt. The campaign is led by the BIG Civil Society Coalition, made up of churches and non-governmental organizations that have been advocating for the introduction of a universal basic income grant of $500 million per month for vulnerable Namibians below the age of 60. The NGOs say Namibia is one of the most unequal countries in the world, and the impact of the outbreak has shown that the country is in need of a program that will safeguard the well-being and decent life of its citizens.
This is now much more urgent because of the impacts of COVID-19. We have seen many families sitting without any income because of massive job losses almost in all the sectors. There are some sectors that are more severely affected, but it has almost affected all the sectors. I mean, the ECD workers that have been earning money, domestic workers that were told to stay home, the agricultural workers, the mining, fishing, every sector has been affected. The tourism sector most affected. So we feel that the basic income grant could be a potential emergency rescue package. We very much appreciated what government has done through the emergency income grant, and we worked with the Minister of Finance to popularize and to make sure that more and more Namibians benefit from this. Now, that was a welcome initiative, but it was not adequate. We have had a basic income grant program running, would have just used that mechanism to really assist Namibians in this very desperate situation. So, as civil society, we are calling upon government to consult with stakeholders in plan for a rollout of a basic income grant, at least in the next financial year of government.
A universal cash transfer pilot project was conducted in the Oshivelo Omitara area in 2008, where all residents received an unconditional basic income grant of $100 million per person below the age of 60 for 24 months. Findings have shown that poverty in households dropped significantly and that many used the initiative to improve their lives.
And decided also to do a pilot project which has overwhelming results, which has transformed that village of Omitara or Chivero completely. It has reduced poverty, it has created employment opportunities, small business opportunities grew in this village, education results improved, the hunger was almost eradicated, people's human dignity was re-established, people had opportunities to improve their housing, crime statistics came down and so on. So on the basis of that evidence, we've been advocating for government to implement this, and we were very hopeful when our chairperson, Bishop Dr. Samenda, became the minister. But unfortunately, this also coincided with the economic crisis that the country was going through, and the implementation did not happen. Now government is putting together a comprehensive social protection plan. There are some proposals for a basic income kind of a program. But we feel that a comprehensive basic income grant that will cover all the children, not only orphans or vulnerable children, a universal grant for children, as well as a grant that will cover the age group from 19 to 59 should be introduced as a matter of urgency by government.
Since the idea was first proposed 15 years ago by the BIG coalition, government has not taken up the initiative as no policy or act of parliament exists to date. The draft social protection policy by the Poverty Eradication Ministry indicates that the BIG initiative is estimated to benefit 1.2 million Namibians at a cost of over $3 billion annually, which would make up nearly 2% of the gross domestic product. Civil society organizations will relaunch the initiative next week, Tuesday, at the Namibia University of Science and Technology.
Get up to 50% off selected products with OK Furniture's 4-day flash sale. Grab these deep cut deals in store, like the Defy Black 4-plate stove for only $2,990. Save $609, or get a price slash of $2,509 on the Restonic Queen Dream Gold base set for just $3,990. These deals are on for a limited time only, so don't miss out. That's the 4-day flash sale from 3 to 6 September, only at OK Furniture for the lowest prices guaranteed.
In other leading stories, to ensure that Namibians are protected from COVID-19 and further strengthen the country's health system, the Namibia Statistics Agency, together with the Ministry of Health and Social Services, United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Environmental Systems Research Institute, Global Partner for Sustainable Development Data, and Grid 3 are spearheading a new partnership that puts real-time COVID-19 and health data at the fingertips of decision makers and the general public alike. The information will aid high-risk groups and help identify the most effective COVID-19 prevention and response policies. In an effort to make the crucial geospatial data available universally, findings are openly accessible on the hub, which allows for easy interaction and interpretation for experts and users new to the field of data. In addition to COVID-19 case numbers, recoveries and death toll, the site features data on the health risks that can make COVID-19 particularly dangerous. The location of people suffering from ailments like diabetes, heart conditions, respiratory illnesses, or cancer are comprehensively mapped and can be analyzed and combined with other heightened characteristics like population density and access to information technology. This allows the user to obtain a comprehensive overview of health risks in the country. The release of the COVID-19 Hub marks the first major output of the strategic partnership between the government of Namibia and Grid 3 in collaboration with ESRI.
All sides are now looking to strengthen the partnership and accelerate efforts that would ensure the steady availability of up-to-date data for the country's government and population. And the Namibian tourism industry is currently experiencing one of its biggest challenges in recorded history and memory. As with all companies in Namibia and the world over, the past 5 months have been challenging and distressing. In response, Namibia Wildlife Resorts Limited adjusted its business operations to withstand the challenges brought about by COVID-19. NWR embarked on various actions, such as signing a memorandum of understanding with its social partner, the Namibia Public Workers Union, NAPU, which resulted in cost-cutting measures for the benefit of the organization. Equally, NWR adopted a new pricing model targeting the domestic market, which was able to sustain its operations thus far.
Welcome to Comments Corner, your daily dose of local comments from the hottest social media pages. Activists from the Fridays for Future as well as Power Pad Girls recently took up the task to clean Windhoek Zoo Park. Much to their surprise, the city of Windhoek contract workers were enjoying a nap while on duty. Katoto said such behavior cannot be allowed and that the cleaners can go home if they wish to sleep. Gino said, well done to all Namibians that still care. Kasika said they were taking a nap because they were tired. Margaret said, let machines do their work if they are being lazy. Kayeve said that the cleaners walk long distances and get tired from going from one place to the next to clean. She said everybody needs rest. In light of the announcement by His Excellency President Hakagenkop and Proclamation number 48 of Stage 3 of the State of Emergency COVID-19 regulations of the Namibian Constitution, the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture had further discussions with the Namibian National Teachers Union NANTU on the fear around the current rising infections of COVID-19. Vic said this was a good move by the government of the day as children need to go to school since a lot of time has already been lost. Vernon said government and unions should decide what is best for their schools, and so should the private schools. Ethel said the ministry should look into remote learning and this should serve as a wake-up call to improve the system. Palace is glad that the reopening for pre-primary to grade 3 is postponed. Mani said, how sure is the ministry that children in other regions will be safe from the disease? And that is all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day only on Today and One.
We always love to hear from you. Send us your views, comments, and videos with your name and town to the One Africa TV's WhatsApp on 081 200 6659 or send an SMS to 555. One Africa TV, it just gets better.
Hello Namibia, my name is Adora and welcome to a brand new edition of the cool new show called The Ain't Like a Vibe. On this show we get to know who our artists really are behind the scenes and what inspires them, what keeps them going, what makes them tick. What are some of your favorite sounds?
Trap music, hip-hop.
Yeah, okay.
Hip-hop, Afro dancehall.
We came from a background whereby we were raised by our grannies. So it's not a shameful thing for me to do because we used to sell and the Glemune Haferkoka. We would work from Rambolokasi to Okuriangala.
Walla Namibia, this is your boy Tulisan. Don't forget to watch the Ain't Like a Vibe TV show on One Africa Television.
A look at the weather forecast. First, an advisory from the Windhoek Met Office. Thunder showers will persist over the interior, except in the extreme northeast. The Namibia interior partly cloudy and hot in the extreme northeast. Elsewhere partly cloudy and warm to hot with isolated thunder showers, but scattered thunder showers over the Commas, Hartap and Karras regions. The coast cloudy and warm with showers and thunder showers, and the wind fresh to strong southerly. Now a look at minimum and maximum temperatures across the country and beyond.
It's me time. Time to love your skin. With Bramley's range of scented tissue oils. Buy any 3 for just 50. Why pay more? Life's better with Pep.
This week on It's a Wrap.
Now my question is, what happened to the rest? There's a 300 million that's gone.
The government in power, they cannot govern us in secret and expect that we must swallow everything that is pumped out at us and expect them to be believed by us.
Do you understand the amount of money that the government has spent on the fight against COVID-19? Could they have spent 300 million on tracing people and managing people? Is that even possible?
Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until 8 September. Buy Nivea Shower Gel 2 for $77. Buy Pampers Baby Dry Disposable Nappies or Active Baby Pants Jumbo Pack, now $225.99 per pack. Or buy Protect Soap 200 grams, 4 for $42. And save 50% on Revlon Colorstay Full Cover Foundation. Clicks. Feel good, pay less.
Now on BBC World News, the biggest African and international news stories focus on Africa.